A lot of people in the trans community were furious with me, and apparently they dragged me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck, because Twitter's not a real place.
Dave Chappelle, a comedy legend known for his fearless approach to tackling taboo subjects, has found himself at the heart of the cancel culture debate. While he's been hailed as one of the most influential comedians of his generation, recent years have seen Chappelle become a polarizing figure. His stand-up specials, especially on Netflix, have ignited a heated discussion about the limits of free speech, political correctness, and the impact of cancel culture on the arts. In this video, we dive deep into Dave Chappelle's battle against cancel culture and how his comedy continues to challenge societal norms.
With this whole controversy with the closer, that you cannot report on an artist's work and remove artistic nuance from his words.
To understand Dave Chappelle's clash with cancel culture, we need to revisit his storied career. Chappelle has always been known for his audacious humor, never shying away from difficult topics like race, politics, and social injustice. His early work, particularly Chappelle's Show, revolutionized sketch comedy and set him apart as a voice unafraid to challenge mainstream thinking.
We're gonna hang out with Rick James tonight, you know what I'm saying? And here he comes out the room, and I look at him, and I'm not bullshitting, man. I seen like an orange, his aura or whatever, I seen it.
From his satirical takes on race relations to his skewering of pop culture, Chappelle made a name for himself as a comedian who pushed boundaries, and audiences loved him for it. But in 2005, at the height of his success, Chappelle famously walked away from a $50 million contract with Comedy Central, citing concerns about how his comedy was being received and interpreted.
I don't think they want to pay to see somebody worried about the repercussion. What they say, they just want to see someone try to get at something honest or maybe something relatable or have some fun.
Chappelle's hiatus from comedy only fueled his legend. When he finally returned in 2017, his Netflix specials were met with massive anticipation. The Age of Spin, Deep in the Heart of Texas, and Equanimity, and The Bird Revelation saw Chappelle reflect on his time away and address a new era of social media activism and woke culture.
I'm black, but I'm also Dave Chappelle.
While these specials received critical acclaim, they also sparked controversy. Chappelle's humor, particularly his jokes about the LGBTQ+ community and transgender issues, led to accusations of transphobia. But rather than shy away from the criticism, Chappelle leaned into it, doubling down on the very subjects that brought him under fire. The release of Sticks and Stones in 2019 marked a turning point in Chappelle's career. While some praised the special for its fearless critique of cancel culture, others labeled it offensive and out of touch, particularly due to Chappelle's continued jokes about the transgender community. Despite the backlash, Chappelle remained unapologetic. But the controversy surrounding him reached new heights with the release of The Closer in 2021. In this special, Chappelle addressed the LGBTQ+ backlash directly and defended his right to free speech. While some hailed it as a masterpiece of comedy that tackled sensitive issues head-on, others saw it as crossing the line, leading to renewed calls to cancel Chappelle.
Trans lives matter!
The release of The Closer led to intense protests, not just from activists, but also from within Netflix itself. Employees staged walkouts, demanding that the streaming giant take responsibility for airing what they saw as harmful content. Many LGBTQ+ activists argued that Chappelle's jokes perpetuated harmful stereotypes and normalized violence against the transgender community. However, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos defended the decision to air the special, stating that comedy should push boundaries and that Chappelle's voice had a place in the broader conversation.
I'm going to try to take everything away from you, and I don't care when I find out. Could be today, tomorrow, 15, 20 years from now. If I find out, you're fucking finished.
At the heart of the debate is the question of free speech versus the boundaries of acceptable discourse. For Dave Chappelle, cancel culture represents a threat to creative expression. He has repeatedly argued that comedians should have the freedom to explore difficult and even offensive topics without fear of being canceled.
That's why I don't be coming out doing comedy all the time, because y'all niggas is the worst motherfuckers I've ever tried to entertain in my fucking life.
Chappelle has become one of the most vocal critics of cancel culture, arguing that it stifles open dialogue and prevents comedians from doing their job, which is, in his view, to provoke thought through laughter. In his eyes, cancel culture has morphed into a tool for silencing dissenting voices, rather than fostering meaningful discussions.
Grab the podium, he goes, "You don't know how scary the things I read in my briefings are." And I was like, holy shit, man, you ain't supposed to tell us that, bro.
Chappelle is not alone in his stance. Several high-profile comedians have come to his defense, including Joe Rogan, Bill Burr, and Chris Rock. These comedians argue that comedy has always been about pushing boundaries and that cancel culture represents an existential threat to their art form. For many comedians, Chappelle's battle against cancel culture is a fight to preserve the core principles of comedy, the ability to challenge the status quo, and make audiences uncomfortable for the sake of sparking conversation. They argue that without this freedom, the art of comedy could be irrevocably damaged. Despite the controversy, Dave Chappelle's career continues to thrive. His live performances sell out across the world, and his fans remain fiercely loyal. But the debate surrounding his comedy and cancel culture is far from over. As society grapples with the limits of free speech and the growing power of social media, Chappelle's voice remains at the center of this cultural battle. Whether you view him as a provocateur standing up for free expression or a comedian out of touch with modern sensitivities, there's no denying that Dave Chappelle has left an indelible mark on the comedy landscape. Dave Chappelle's battle against cancel culture has sparked one of the most heated debates in modern comedy. While some see him as a victim of an overly sensitive culture, others argue that his jokes cross the line into harmful rhetoric. Wherever you stand on the issue, one thing is clear: Dave Chappelle's impact on the conversation around free speech and cancel culture will be felt for years to come. Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth looks at comedy, culture, and the ongoing debates shaping our world.